Hey yo everybody, welcome back to my ASMR for Destroying Jewelry. I'm your host today. Sorry I haven't been uploading in a while. Haven't had very many interesting games to be honest, and I still haven't. So I actually busted out a little older one once again. This is actually from May of 2022. It's been a bit. My opponent here is the board is set. I actually just played them again recently. A little bit of a kind of homecoming, I guess. I remember because I made fun of their Hamachi password because it's very long. But yeah, we kind of started towards the same time, beginning of 2022. So this is an old one. So together we will see what little baby me did back when I started playing. You can see that everybody makes mistakes. And we have those days. So I wanted to say real quick, I appreciate everybody who liked and commented on the last video. It helps a lot, lets me know you guys like what you see, so really appreciate it. Again, like the video if you want more. I promise I will try. Nothing's really struck out. It's an exciting time. The new league started, so all the leagues. There's a new one, which I'm excited to get on the metaphorical table online. And hopefully that should bring in some cool stuff, new content, right? Some new expansion stuff. But until then, we will settle with this. So again, old game. I saved it because I remember it being really cool. So let's see what happens. I do not have their password, and I am free people. So I start with confusion through a day and a night, and axe and bow. Whatever, could be worse. Let's get rocking. Allocate one eye and roll no more. So yeah, maybe I'm misremembering, but I swear went back when I started playing, nobody did the whole allocate zero eyes thing. It was actually pretty rare. I remember when I started doing it, people would comment, be like, what are you doing? So it wasn't exactly a thing yet, I don't think. I might be wrong there. But they roll a great roll, and I roll a great roll. Probably want more moves for one eye, but I don't like sprinting. Maybe I like sprinting back then. Who knows? This is old me. I'm now reformed. Alright, I get Isengard, draw a card. Must have had a poopy ones. I move, of course. I'm safe. Oh, Orcs multiplying again. Yep, that's a good draw. That's a question. Do you play Orcs multiplying with a muster, or do you just get Sour on the War? You just kind of hold Dol Guldur there until... I probably would have saved it personally. That way I could at least use a Palantir to play it. I do the standard moves. They do run towards the dew line, but Sauron's not at war. And they already mustered Isengard, so I kind of knew that. But, you know, what else are you going to do with a hybrid as free people, right? I move again, I'm safe. They bring in Saruman. I muster the north. Yeah, I remember I used to do that. And then they play Ring Wraiths. Yeah, they do a cool thing here. So they get Nirn into Gorgoroth along with Barad-dûr. Also into Gorgoroth. You don't see Nirn get moved much in base game. I love moving them in any expansion, really, whenever I'm playing any of them. I think it helps. But yeah, I guess they're just content with what they are bringing to the dew line from Dol Guldur and said, okay, we're going to need all Mordor for Gondor. And they did leave one regular in Dol Guldur, which is that's a tough decision. You know, you're going to need everybody you can get up there. Okay. Turn 2, I get Eagles Are Coming and Kindred of Glorfindel. Nothing really great yet. I'm happy to have a Confusion for Old Forest Road at least. Okay, they allocate 2 eyes, and they roll 2 more. Interesting. So, yeah, they're definitely playing unique here. Lots of eyes in the pool, and naturally that's when I roll 3 characters, but, big buts, you typically don't want to do that when Gandalf's still alive because you're actually helping the free people. So yeah, if I roll a will, say I just rolled a will and 1 character this turn, and then you decide to allocate 2 or 3 eyes, like you're helping me get Gandalf. Yeah, I could get revealed in Moria. That sucks, but I could also not. Regardless, Gandalf usually is dead, and that is bad foreshadow. So I move, and I do get hit, and it's 2. So, as I just said, Gandalf now dies. Their extra eyes didn't help in that case, but the point stands. They draw another strategy card. Their cards... Yeah. They didn't roll a lot of attacks. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even comment. They didn't roll muster, so there you go. You rolled 2 Palantirs this turn, but you didn't roll muster, and you spent a muster to play a card. Which, yeah, using a muster to play a card turn 1, it can backfire. Okay, naturally, like a Gandalf, you usually want to do that at the end of the turn in case, just to make them paranoid about Fear Fire foes, Book of Mazarbel. Particularly in this situation where Sauron's just kind of chilling out in front of the dew line. It's a good time to scare your opponent. Oh, wow, look at that. All right, so they actually congregate to the Black Gate instead of Minas Morgul, which is surprising. That would imply they're going up to the dew line with that army. All right, I'm not excited to move again, so I got Gandalf killed. Beautiful. It's 4 eyes, hitting on 5s, yeah. Play axe and bow. I mean, I think every other person on this planet would tell you just to move. What would I do now? Would I move again? I probably would, personally, because my defense isn't great. Like, yeah, I have a guy sitting in their way, but next turn, it's not like the elves are 1 away from war or anything. Like, I'm actually a sitting duck military. All my nations are at their starting values, except for the north. I mean, I'm thinking I'm probably going to muster the north again because I got lucky. So yeah, that north muster would have done literally nothing for me if they rolled a muster this turn. But because of the circumstances... Oh wow, they left the regular in Black Gate. I'm scaring them a little bit. I'm in their head. I didn't even do anything yet. Yep, I muster the north. And they draw another card. Holy hell, what is their hand? I gotta know. Alright, well, turn 2 Gandalf the White, not great for my opponent. And there's Book. In there and back again. That would have been a fun combo, wouldn't it? Alright. Yeah, that's prime fun right there. The thing I hate about there and back again is that you can't be in... Or no, you have to be in the Fellowship to play it. It's really dumb. Don't like it. Why? I went over in my card review, but I'm assuming the intention was this card should only be viable if Frodo decided to go Bilbo's path. You know, going up through the High Pass towards Woodland Realm. Because, you know, judging by the name of the card, that makes sense. But still, it makes me angry. Because that route is not very viable unless there is a flaming dog in Moria who's about to eat somebody. Who's about to eat your king. Okay, they allocate 2 eyes again. Roll no more this time. And I roll that. Yep. So, pretty good roll under the... Or no, not very bad roll, sorry, under the circumstances. Yeah. I don't know. Well, okay, what's my move? So I got 3 movement with Frobo. 1, 2, 3. I play there and back again. 1, 2. It'll get on the Old Forest Road. I would say they'd get murdered, but they still haven't put Sauron on the war. So now I would definitely do that. I think I would send Legolas to Old Forest Road. They'd bring Sauron on the war, and then I would use a muster to play Book of Mazarbel, and then I got 2 more musters to muster in Erebor. That's definitely what I do nowadays. But I'm moving. They muster Sauron on the war, and my opportunity is officially gone. Yeah, that plan actually would have been perfect because I play Book, I'm in Erebor, they're at war. They probably attack Old Forest Road. I then get a muster in Dale. And if they attack Dale, I can muster in Erebor. And then if they attack Woodland Realm, I can muster in... I'll probably wait, maybe. See which one I want to muster in. Yeah, missed opportunity. It's not always good to move right away. I play Kindred, sure. I get Red Arrow and Scouts. I paid off there, I got Scouts. They attack Old Forest Road with no cards, so I feel kind of bad for my opponent here. They've drawn 6 strategy cards in 3 turns and no Swarm of Bats yet. That is a shame. Maybe that's why they were drawing cards. They were hunting for it, but Who knows? They attack Old Forest Road. I definitely scouts into Woodland Realm. North is at war. Putting an elite there. We're partying. We're boogieing. They attack Dale. So, yeah, this is a really hard spot for them because normally you want to attack Woodland Realm first because this is a city, and what are the odds you're going to kill all of me? Very low, but they don't have a choice. Alright, so I play Heroic Death here. I could play Confusion, but that doesn't preserve my life. I mean, it could, technically, but... And they play Great Host. Oof. 2 hits on me. I roll 1 back, so that's good. Great Host definitely triggers. Alright, I had Heroic Death. Yep, so barely survive with 1 guy left because of Heroic Death. And then into Woodland Realm he goes. Now imagine if the dwarves were at war. Now I can put an elite there. Oh. The doo-doo up there would look mega tasty and untakeable. Missed opportunities. I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. So I muster an elite in Karok, and then the Gunda boys come down. Still looking out for military victory. And yeah, now the Blackgate begins its march. So I want to throw this out there. For any new players, the appeal of the Blackgate marching north is, first of all, it's very closer. It's much closer than it looks. You're going from southeast to the northeast. It looks far, but it's really not. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're at Dale. Yeah, and to compare, it takes 3 movements to be in front of Minas Tirith. So, you know, you're barely moving more just to get to the first point, technically. Yeah. The appeal, typically, is the dew line is trash because they're all 3 different nations and they have low values, with the exception of Erebor. So, you know, you kind of... The term is the alpha strike. You get them before they can react. Free people don't have the luxury of reacting normally. So, right now, that appeal is all but lost because the North's at war. Woodland Realm's buffed up by 2 North units in it. Erebor's still at its value, fine, but is it worth marching the army up there? I don't know. It's definitely not an automatic decision like most people would assume. Alright, I muster another elite in Karok just in case of ring rates are broad. I do not want that to hurt me. I'm pretty confident they rolled a hybrid this turn. I'm not 100%, so no Witch King. Now, here's the thing with dew politics. It's if you do it right as free people, and by do it right I mean you get the dice that let you do it right. You make Shadow's moves for them. Like right there, he had to attack Dale. He had to. So sometimes you can prevent the Witch King from coming in, do stuff like that. They were gonna play Pits, and then they played Dreadful Spells. So interesting. I mean, I don't know how long they had Pits. Maybe they just drew it, but leaving all these regulars everywhere in every stronghold when you have Pits is surprising. Plays Dreadful Spells in Woodland Realm. I mean, it's only 2. And he whiffs, which is expected. I tell him, always worth a shot, but... Your hand wasn't full, and you just drew another card. So you might as well draw the card first, see what you're working with. I definitely would have played Pits. I think you're going to need everything. Because, you know, you're still going to need other points after this. So, you know, Dol Moria, Moranon, I guess. Yeah, Pits always has that awkward third stronghold unless you're kind of in the very beginning of the game. Alright, turn 4, I get Dead Men and Emer Hill. And they get... Who knows? They comment here that I don't declare, so that's how you can tell it's an older game, yep. And I let them know that the safety of Rivendell is nice to counter cards, which it is. It's a trade-off. Right, you're immune to tile draw cards, the Nazgul move cards. I mean, they can still play them, but they don't actually do anything, basically. They just let them move the Nazgul. You're immune to cruel weather. Yeah, you're safe from a lot of BS. But you will inevitably be revealed at some point, and that will draw an extra Moria tile. But remember, there's 6 tiles in the hunt pool at the beginning of the game that do nothing from Shadow Strongholds. The 0s and the 4 eyes. So, is it really that bad? Normally, no. The only time I ever declare past Moria is if it's an expansion. Not usually Lords, but because of the Chief, but Warriors and maybe Kings, I don't know. I haven't played enough of it, but Warriors for sure, because it just makes, when you declare past Moria, it makes Aragorn more doable, for sure. And it's nice to have options. You get that roll in Warriors, and you're like, all right, let's crown the king and bring in the ghosts. Good stuff. Okay, they allocate 2 eyes, roll 1 more, and I roll another good roll. So you can always tell when it's a good game because the free people don't get 4 musters every turn. Those are always great. All right, I'm mustering Carrock again. So yeah, so those 4 orcs are not cut out for this. Okay, so they move the Blackgate keeps moving, and Easterlings get involved. They are not at war. They will likely not be at war this turn, so it doesn't hurt to have them in position, for sure. Maybe you should have played Pits now. I don't know. Carrock's a problem because nothing's under threat. This is like the prime appeal of Carrock, is when your strongholds are already good up there, and then you have this crap to deal with. Alright, so now I play there and back again. Okay. So I have 4 movement. 1, 2, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, bop. I can end up in Woodland Realm with a companion. And that will put it'll activate the dwarves, and it'll put the dwarves and the elves down. Because North's already there. Here comes Legolas. And Legolas is in Carrock. He is not in Woodland Realm. Oh, I see. You might be able to see what's going on if you look at my cards here. So, as Shadow, let's sit in our little imagination chair here and pretend like we are the evil people, the big eye, and our little big eye is looking up there. It's really far away, I get it, but you're looking up there and you're thinking, why is Legolas in that Carrock army? That's not good. So, card knowledge helps a lot. It's a decent army. Maybe nowadays I would just throw Legolas there just to be, a leader and extra dice because that's fun, but not everybody plays like me. So if you see anybody do this, think about what they could do with it. Always a good mindset to have. So they play the Shadow Lengthens, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you really needed to, but I don't know their cards. Alright, so they reinforce those 2 armies. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, that was actually pretty smart. Yep. Blackgate reinforces both those armies in the northeast without having to waste 2 more actions to do that. Beautiful. But then I play a Through a Day and a Night, and Legolas jumps right in the Woodland Realm. Ouch. And they say touche. I say it's going to get bloody. So another thing I could have done was, instead of going to Woodland Realm for defense, I could have instead went to Rosgobble into North Anduin Vale, and then just put DG under. They would be able to get an elite in, but Legolas with 3 elites should be able to take 3 hits. That seems right. But here's the thing. So even if free people military is an option, it's not always the option you should take, because you have these 2 win conditions. One's way easier than the other, and by easy I mean not at all, but easier. Is free people military required right now? Because the biggest appeal of free people military is not actually winning it, it's wasting so much of Shadow's time having to deal with your bullshit that it ends up helping Frodo a lot. That's why it's most beneficial when Frodo's chilling in the White City or with Cate Blanchett. In this situation, Frodo is in Dimrildale, and I got axe and bow on the table. My opponent's at 1 point. Every stronghold they're looking at's rough. Erebor's definitely takeable. And then they'll have to kind of like congregate all those armies and go for Woodland Realm. But look at the rest of the board. Orthancs at base value. Southrons haven't moved at all. Mordor's a little congregated. I'll give them that. If you do go for Woodland Realm, Lorien will be at war. But, the rest of the board's looking healthy. Is it really necessary? Probably not. So I think what I did was they've committed so many resources. Excuse me. They've committed so many resources to the northeast. Like, wow. Black Gate's up there, Dol Gulduar's up there, the entire eastern desert is up there, and they're not even at war yet. They were invited, and they are watching. And when you see 3 entire armies that were formed marching up there, maybe you just make it really hard to take. That's not always the correct choice. Sometimes you just reinforce other things, let them have what they're putting all their attention into. But in this scenario, looking at the politics, what else can I really do? Alright, so they get the Witch King finally. Probably a little late, but oh well. I move Frodo, he is hit, and 0 reveal. So now we're cooking. I'm in Parth Celebrant, and Moria draws a 1, and I eat it for no reason. I have axe and bow. I guess I forgot. It happens. Sometimes you go on autopilot. So they attack Woodland Realm. I do take some regulars instead of fighting. Always do the math. Whenever you're going to field battle, just don't forget that Shadow can play cards, and they will, I guarantee it. If they have a Deadly Strife, they will play it in a field battle. Usually. There's a threat of scouts. That would feel bad. But, yeah. Remember, Deadly Strife's hitting on coin flips. Or better than coin flips when you're field battling. So, yeah, I don't think that 2 health was enough to warrant actually going for it. Now, I did have advantageous position. So maybe I should have. Is that worth it? They play a decent card. They might get 2 or 3 hits. The big thing with advantageous is it's only the combat. So, oh no, I rolled 3 3s, a 5, and a 4 in my combat. And then I roll 4 5s in my leader. Well, that card didn't actually help you in it. And now you took 4 hits. So I go under. Great detail here is I put a Elven regular into my force pool. So a little small accuracy thing you should always look for, but usually just the elves and the dwarves. If you can put their regulars into the force pool, always do it. So now I got 3 in there. It's pretty nice. I hide the fellowship. And they attack Woodland Realm. Interesting. So they're committing to it. I mean, yeah, if I draw Thranduils, this is untakeable. Simple as that. Alright, so they play a strategy card. I see strategy, I go advantageous. They play Desperate Battle, so advantageous does its job. It really did its job. So, 3 5s. Yep, so that saved my skin there. And then they get 2 hits on the reroll. Yeah, that would have been... Well, after the reroll, it only would have been 3, so... And then I roll 4 hits. Legolas came to play. Desperate Battle is not as good as it seems when you're Shadow. It seems good, but hitting on 5s isn't that great, and you're giving free people like a Deadly Strife, so always keep that in mind. If the stronghold is strong, Deadly or Desperate Battle is not usually a good idea. Giving free people a free Deadly Strife, Yep, so they took a metric crap ton of hits. I took what was expected. They do press, which is interesting, so I have 7 health and they have 7 health, so pressing is extremely dangerous here. Extremely. Wow. Like, assume you take 3 hits. You're down to 4. I can sortie. If I play no quarter, sudden strike, charge, that's a dead Witch King. They play another Desperate Battle. That's probably not the card you want to be playing. They get 3 hits, which is good. I get 4 hits again. Yep. Did I take my casualties? Okay, I'm getting there. They were a little speedy for me. Okay, so I draw Smeagol's Nice Master and Spirit of Mordor. And other scouts, you don't expect that. Allocate 2 eyes. They roll 3 more. And naturally, I roll freaking 4 characters. Or 3 characters. That's the way it goes. So, I mean, I have 1 card I can play. I can crown Aragorn. You know, I have options, so it's not the worst thing. That's a benefit. I didn't obviously declare. I got revealed, but that's the benefit of being past Moria. Yeah, because if I were still in Rivendell, Strider, if I wanted to crown him, would have to go to Dol Amroth, which is marginally worse. Right. I sortie in Woodland Realm. So here's a... I think there's a couple of things that happen in this game. I remember... So the elves aren't at war, and I'm trying to sortie. Now, there are no elves in this army, except for the leader. And I was just going to say, well, he's not participating because he's not at war. And my opponent says, well, a leader can't actually be alone in a rear guard. Yeah, rear guard. How often do you hear that? So we have to actually ask for the rules, and they are correct. So I need to leave a freaking regular with the leader for this attack to be legal. Really kind of dumb. Like, I get that that's the rules, but it's another dumb interaction that this game always seems to pull out. I doubt that's intentional. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind, but here we are. And yeah, I say I'm willing to just murder the leader. Like, if he can't... Because normally, if you leave a leader somewhere with no army, they just die. So I was thinking, okay, I'll just do that here. But they say, can't do that. So I give up. I say, fine. I just settle with leaving a regular with the leader, and I only attack with 3 North regulars. I play Shield Wall just so this doesn't hurt so bad. They play Swarm of Bats. Probably that's perfect use of Swarm of Bats in case I were to play the aforementioned Sudden Strike and yada yada. So I roll 5 dice. I only get 1 hit. Not insane. They roll 6. They get 1 hit, so fair's fair. I press, and they are out. Now, would I have still done that attack if I knew about the whole leader thing? I don't know. I mean, I think I just went with it because we looked for like 10 minutes because it was such a weird thing. So I was like, screw it. I'll just do it. Let's see if I can kill the boy. I did not. Actually helped them because they needed to reinforce anyway. I don't have any musters. I mean, I have the will, but... Okay, so they move the Southrons to get Gundabad moving in. I draw a character card with the Palantir. Interesting. I was almost expecting me to play Deadmen. Probably a better idea just to send him to Ministeriate, though. Alright, Umbar's set up. Old Forest Road now has an army. Right, so here's the decision. Do you muster Woodland Realm? You got 3 elites still. Or do you commit to getting Aragorn? Because there is no threat of Day Without Dawn. So this is a guaranteed Aragorn. Gondor's not even under threat at all. Like, it's a good play. Or do you just commit to your basket and you just keep annoying Shadow in the Northeast? Because to take Woodland Realm after I muster another elite, we'll need those Southrons to help, and they are 2 away from war, and that gives me more chances to draw Thranduils. But I decide I'm getting Aragorn. They play Warmrasar and Toil. Fine. I mean, good timing. Be right before I move. The cards I have aren't really insane, so I don't mind. I get a 2 reveal, get hit. Yep, and then use Axe and Bow and just take 1 corruption because don't want to lose Axe and Bow. Might as well use it. Should have used it earlier, but oh well. Put Woodland Realm under siege, as they should. Elves are now at... Oh, God, I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. Elves weren't at war. I just talked about how they weren't at war. Ignore all that. I'm sorry. I'm only human. Yeah, so Aragorn makes sense. Duh. You know what? Scratch that. I could have used a character die to bring them to war with Legolas's political ability. See, I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Could have done that. Would that be worth it? Probably not. Wasting a character just to get them the war to bring one more elite, I don't think that's a worthy trade. When I could move the Fellowship and get Aragorn, I think the latter is the more appealing option. So, made the right call there. And I'm now at 6 dice. Very nice. I draw House of the Stewards. Damn. And Power Tom Bombadil. Damn. Not very helpful. At the very least, House of the Stewards is great. Warm with Sorrow and Toil Bait. You can happily toil my steward. Allocate 2 eyes? They're allocating them in a unique way, and it's confusing me. I'm sorry. They allocate 2 eyes, roll 2 more. So they're still committed to the corruption, so you have to respect that. Also, their roll is god-awful. Wowzers. That's not good. I mean, at least they're not going to get militaried because they rolled musters, but ouch. But yeah, that's a downside to committing to the corruption, is the odds of you just having less dice to play with. That can end up being counterintuitive to corruption. So it's usually not a good idea unless they're in Mordor. Hide the Fellowship. They play Day Without Dawn, but they can't. Southrons aren't at war yet, so they play Orc Patrol instead. They get a 3. Nice. Yep. Kill Gimli. Let's see what it takes. Oh god, it took dead men. Okay, that's fine. I'm happy with everything going except for Horn of Gondor and Smeagol, for sure. Yep, play Horn of Gondor, makes sense. They muster the Southrons. I move the Fellowship. I missed, which is nice. And then they play Nazgul Search. I accidentally revealed a little early there, which is not a good idea, because if you wanted to put Nazgul in front, you'd have to put 2 out, but now that I did that early when I shouldn't have, he knew exactly where to put it. He said he was going to do that, but I mean, I doubt he was going to do that and just leave Western Emimwila by itself. So that's on me. I hide. And draw another character card that just full on committed, which isn't a terrible idea. So, but there's a problem. Your military is going terrible. I am 3 away from Mordor. You have essentially 1 point. Nothing else is being threatened whatsoever. You know, you can bank on Corsairs. You are at only 12 cards left in your strategy deck because you drew so many by hand and cycling. But even if you get Dol Amroth, I have Aragorn and Minas Tirith. I'm not running with him. He's going to have 4 elites with him by the time you get there. So nothing's looking great. So committing to corruption is a good idea at this point. However, I talked about this in a previous video. If you want to commit to corruption, it's not so much you allocate 1,000,000 eyes and hope you get lucky. It's more so you think in the head of the free people and you take away their options. What's the big option right now? Well, I'm on 3 corruption. Military is non-existent, shadow military, so the best course of action for me is to go into Minas Tirith. However, there is 0 threat to Minas Tirith right now. So Shadow's time would be better spent actually just shooting for Gondor, at least in my opinion. Because you take out Minas Tirith, I'm forced to just keep trekking, and then, right, just less options for me. Right, so I see the writing on the wall here. I know I want to get into the Minas Tirith, so I start mustering Gondor. They finish mustering the Southrons, and then I finish mustering Gondor. So this is perfectly timed, because even if they have Corsairs, I can at least get an elite in. I get another blue and Faramir. Oh, and another thing is, granted, Warren with Sorrow and Toil is only going to take 1 more card because of the Hobbit's ability, assuming they don't foul thing them. But yeah, going into a stronghold will actually get rid of One More Sorrow and Toil, which is nice. You never know. If you got Mithril and there is another way, I don't care if you only get 1 draw with Sorrow and Toil. I want it gone. Okay, allocate 2 eyes, roll no more. Once again, great roll for me. I only got one movement, which was perfect. I do get that muster in Dol Amroth. Now they play Day Without Dawn. Fine. I'm always happy to see Day Without Dawn gone as free people. Assuming they only take one. And I get another one in Dol Amroth. So here's the question. Many people would be like, why didn't you use the will to muster in Dol Amroth? Well, the reason was, I was baiting out Day Without Dawn. Just like I had just said, they are over halfway through their strategy deck, so you're always going to be paranoid they have it at that point. So let's get rid of it. They're only going to take one. It's almost like a bait in a way. It's like, yeah, darn, you took it. But now, when you get that inevitable, completely out of your control scenario where you roll 4, you're not just going to lose the game because the game wanted you to. That never feels good. All right, so they start moving towards Gondor. And they take Dale. Interestingly, look at me go. All right, so kind of what I talked about before. I mean, I'm not really seeing much logic here, but bear with me here, I guess. Let's see if I can distract Shadow by being annoying. So that is a Kindred of Glorfindel enhanced Rivendell marches south while Erebor gets tidied up, which is necessary. If I just give up on Erebor, Woodland Realm's dead at this point. It's just a matter of time. If I just let Erebor get put under siege with just one regular, 2 elites, that's 5 points. And remember, I want to sit in a stronghold, so them getting 5 points when I'm in a stronghold is no bueno. I do not want that to happen. 5 points is when you want to be entering Mordor. They play New Powers Rising. I play Faramir. Get 1 hit. Gondor's looking in better shape now. They play the Palantir, so they could storm Helm's Deep right now. Go for the cheeky freebie grab. Notably, another little small kind of thing you can do to make your play better. The more dice free people has, the less enticing Rohan should be for you. Unless Sauron's helping out from the east. The moment you get Rohan the War, they have so many great mustering spots. Right? Like Gondor is great for mustering. Their problem is they're just kind of locked in their own little world down there. Rohan's not like that. Rohan can go relieve Gondor. Osgiliath is 2 spaces away from Fold. They can go up to Lorien. They can go take Dol Guldur. They're just more in a more convenient location with all their muster spots. So me being on 6 dice, probably not a good idea to attack forwards right now and put Rohan the War, even though you could technically take it, especially if you have Fighting Uruk-hai. They play Rage into Moria, so they are protecting Moria. Alright, they reinforce Woodland Realm, and West Umbar moves to West Arondor. Alright, create a wall. Don't let me go for military. I move the Fellowship. I am hit, but thankfully I don't get revealed. Alright, so Boromir goes with Horn of Gondor. And I think Smeagol got discarded, which is a shame. I was probably banking on House of the Stewards. But at least I'm not revealed. So they attack Woodland Realm. I actually do play... I play Brave Stand because it's probably the only time it's going to get used. Ouch. You can always roll 4 6s. That helps. And I rolled no hits. Good job, Legolas. Alright, Shadow's on the board. And this is a big decision. Let's draw cards first. So I get Grey Company and Guards of the Citadel. So 2 cards to reinforce Aragorn. That's fun. And I do declare into Minas Tirith. Alright, so would you declare into Minas Tirith? Dol Amroth's built up, but Erebor's definitely going to fall. And now there is a sizable army next to Lorien. So if I don't get a good roll, Lorien's a sitting duck. Rivendell's out with their pants down. My fault. You know, Helm's Deep is takeable. I don't have any Ents, so you know, getting Helm's Deep last, that whole issue I talked about of Rohan biting you in the butt is, you know, negligible. But I decided to declare in the Stronghold. Let's see how that goes. So they allocate 2 eyes still, even though I'm in a Stronghold, which is interesting. And then they roll 2 more, and then I roll the perfect roll for being in a Stronghold. That's what you want to see. Yeah, whenever I say gonna think, you know it's a good time. So, not what I want to see. I definitely would rather be mustering Lorien. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like this is a worst case scenario for defense. All right, I use the will. Okay, here we go. So I guarantee you didn't expect this. You didn't see this coming. So I guess my mindset is I need to sit in Minas Tirith. I'm on 0 corruption. I still have 3 moves to make, like effective 0 corruption. That's not great. I'm definitely going to take at least probably 2 or 3 corruption on the way there. So let's see if I can get to -2 corruption. So that way I at least breaking even. So I'm like, all right, let's make a distraction. And also bait Shadow, I guess, because I do have guards. So even if they think they're going to get a free Minas Tirith because of my roll, they're not. Which, if you ever see free people just abandon something like this when you could take it, always assume they're probably just going to reinforce it with some cheekiness. Yep, so I'm committing to the Moria attack, and Aragorn is in Osgiliath, and they run away. And they beef up Westeros a little more. Yeah, so with Mordor, always remember with Mordor is it's not so much about how big the stronghold is. It's about how easy is that stronghold to get past. The Boromir meme is very accurate. It is not easy to walk into Mordor. You simply do not do it. But once you're sitting there snug in Gorgoroth, Mordor is a pain in the ass for Shadow to defend. Not fun. That's why it's always a good idea to have an orc in Gorgoroth. That way they can't do any cheeky army hybrid moves to just kind of make your life miserable. Alright, so I play guards now. Buying myself time. They attack Osgiliath, which is not correct. Absolutely don't do that. Yeah, if you wanted to go for Minas Tirith, which you should, you take Pelargir, leave a Deuter there, and then you sneak around Aragorn through Lossarnock. So, they attack me on Osgiliath. I scouts. And they did play Fighting Uruk-hai Onslaught, so that's a significant card to lose. Yeah, so now they just gave me a free movement, which is not great. Like, maybe I wasn't going for military here. Maybe that was my mindset. Maybe I was just saying, hey, let's make Osgiliath spicy. And if they waste their time doing what I talked about earlier, Pelargir, Lossarnock, I just use one of these 40 characters I rolled that I don't want to go back. Right? I'm making them waste their dice. So it's a win-win. I don't really have anything productive to do with them. But they attack me, so now I'm attacking them. So I'm going to attack Minas Morgul. My opponent says this became chess. Alright, so obviously a field battle. It's a pretty even fight overall, health-wise. It's 9 against 9. But I do have leadership, obviously. I only get 1 hit. They only get 1 hit. A little unlucky for me. I press. I get 5 hits. Roll 4 6s. Very necessary, Aragorn. Thank you. And they get no hits, so unlucky for them this time. So suddenly that big, scary Minas Morgul is not looking big and scary anymore. Only 3 orcs left. Right, now this is panic mode, so this is exactly what I want. So even if I were to never take a stronghold, their dice are being used for this crap. Granted, I gave them pretty much a free Minas Tirith, you know. But they can't just ignore this threat, because who cares if they take my Minas Tirith and I don't heal anymore when I win the game with victory points. Yep, I can't win this turn, because I'd have to attack Minas Morgul, move, and then attack Barad-dûr. I mean, I could technically win if I went for Moria, but that's not looking like a great fight. That's my 6 health against their 8. And I'm only rolling 3 dice. Yeah, you usually want double the health of the people you're fighting, not half. So I play Great Company. Get some cards. Oh, wow. Okay, so I don't have any elites left. I've been too efficient. So, yeah, maybe I should have mustered a regular in Minas Tirith. And then maybe a regular in Lorien since I have the extra 3. Instead of putting that elite in there. What difference does it really make, honestly? Yeah. Yeah, because having an extra elite out here in Mordor is more useful, for sure. Because Minas Tirith's gone if they go for it. They play half-orcs into Minas Morgul, so that's not great. So now it's a my 8 against their 5. It's actually not looking very likely for me to take it. I don't have an Andorol or mighty attacks, nothing like that. I have 1 Valor. But maybe I want to save that Valor, because that's Dane Ironfoot. Nope, I burn a ring, and I decide to get funny. So, yep, I moved to Gorgoroth, because that is the appeal of Mordor. Because they can't just put an elite in one of their strongholds. They have to probably double muster it, so they're just weaker overall. And I move a Pelargir guy to West Horondor. Which is, again, just another annoying thing. Because if I can manage to put Umbar under, and then I draw Círdan's ships, I can play Círdan's ships on him, and then the odds of me getting 1/6 on with 2 elites, 1 regular is pretty high. So they can't just let that guy do what he wants. And obviously you're probably not going to feel bad on him, because if you die and I don't, I just take your stronghold. So yeah, not a great situation. It looks dumb, but it's got some logic behind it. Alright, so they go for the elite muster in Barad-dûr, so yeah. You either could have made the one on the right 2 health, the one on the left 3, or did this. So I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Maybe. Alright. I attacked Black Gate, obviously. It's the easier one to take. I draw Athelas. Oh, there it is. Andoril. And Aemir, so another Valor. So I'm getting all the military cards, which is nice. I say Frodo good. He says Frodo who? I said they're partying in the White City. So they finally don't allocate any eyes. They've learned. And I roll this amazing roll for what I'm trying to do here. Yep, so I attack Moranon. Want to do that now in case they play Loghai or Hill Trolls or any of that crap. Right, so they play Swarm of Bats. That's ouch. So yeah, I started with Andoril because I'm like, I want to preserve my health. I really didn't think they would play a card. Like, here's the thing with military and why it's always a feels bad kind of thing and why it's not very consistent is because, yeah, usually free people can easily take 1 stronghold if they really want to. The problem is, not only is Shadow obviously notified that they've lost a stronghold, you have to kind of sync it up, right? You have to like Breaking Bad prison shank your military in order for it to usually work. So I don't really have that right now. I have Moria under some minor inconvenient threat, but that's about it. So when I see 2 orcs in a stronghold and this giant Aragorn army with 4 leadership, I'm like, okay, he's not going to bother even trying to save it. And then I'll save the good, like, I'll save the Valors and stuff for the other fights, and let's just knock this one out. But they outplayed me. They played Swarm of Bats. So I roll 0 hits. They roll 2. Ouch. And I failed that siege. Yep, unlucky to not get a single hit, which is very valuable to get because there's only 2 orcs in there. And they attack West Horondor. They say, where do you think you're going? Yeah. They say they didn't even see it. Maybe there was a value to put Umbar under first before going for that Aragorn attack. So, yep, he is wiped out, but I get a hit back, so that's something. And I say I wanted the 1v1. Yeah, no, I didn't. I wanted to... Oh, duh. I don't know why I was talking without looking at my cards, but I did have Círdan ships, so I absolutely 1,000,000% should have attacked Umbar. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh, that's frustrating. Why am I so stupid? Life goes on. Well, boys and girls, definitely next time you attack Umbar. If you have Círdan ships, you attack Umbar. Like, I have elites, right? I have, yeah. Ugh. That was free. Now, granted, I attack Umbar. They probably move to West Gondor. And then I play Círdan ships, and then they attack me, and I can't retreat anywhere because I'm trapped there. So I probably would have died. But again, that's what? 3 dice that they just wasted? And then that army is still in West Gondor now, and yeah. That would actually give me time to muster regulars in Minas Tirith and not make it free anymore. Hell, I think I should have done that. Okay, so I attack the Black Gate again. I do Burn of Valor now. They play Deadly Strife, which is insanity. Yeah, you usually, I don't know what these orcs were on, why my opponent loved these orcs so much, but yeah, they're definitely dying now. You don't see orcs playing Deadly Strife when they're under siege, that's for sure. Yep, and the orcs got so the orcs got 4 hits in with rolling 4 dice. Granted, 2 of those were Deadly Strifes, but ouch. That was not expected. I was not expecting 2 orcs to pretty much wipe that Aragorn army. So they sortie out of Minas Morgul. They get a hit. I do get a hit back, which helps. Right, so Aragorn getting bodied by those 2 orcs is a problem now. Whew. Excuse me. Because now Mordor, if there's one thing Mordor's good at, it's retaking a stronghold. So it can be awkward for free people too if it's not done right. Right, so I attack Moria. I ask them if they want to stay, obviously. You should. So I play a card, they don't, and then I play charge. So it was a pretty good charge. I roll 3 hits on the charge. Ooh, boy. I say elves be crazy. And then I roll 2 hits in combat on just 4 dice. And they only roll 1. So that 9, what was it, 8 health army in Moria is now 3. Yeah, so now Moria is takeable. So I've just forced my opponent's hand. Yeah, they are in a bad spot. So maybe me not playing Círdan's the way I wanted was beneficial, because that 3-hit charge was nice. Alright, so yep, they consolidate Mordor. I pass. Is there something else I could have done here? Make Aragorn run? Do I really think these... I have no gimmick cards. Alright, I don't have Heroic Death. The only card that works is an offensive one, which I probably want for Moria. Yeah, maybe Aragorn just leaves. He did his job. He bought some time. But I passed. They put the Black Gate under. Oh, that's why. There's your answer, everybody. I was spiteful. I say, let's see if they hold out like those 2 orcs did. Yeah. Unlikely. They say you're trespassing. I say this used to be Gondor's lands. Right, so if there's any hope of me surviving, not after the shadows gather. Yeah, so that is a probably overkill. I think if you brought Nazgul leadership, you probably would have had me, but hey, you can't fault being completely positive that these people are going to die. But it definitely hurts your offense, because now those guys got to march all the way back to Gondor. I muster a regular in Rivendell and a regular in Minas Tirith because of monsters roused. I don't want them to just walk into Rivendell. That would suck. Okay. They attack. They say, you know where. I say, where? Erebor? Nope, Black Gate. They're playing We Come to Kill. Great card to play. They rolled no hits. I rolled 2. And then they get 1 on the We Come to Kill. So, Aragorn's fighting. They press. I start screaming. I say, I believe. I say, they say for Frodo. It's pretty canon here, except for Southrons and Isengard being there. Are there any orcs? There's a couple orcs. This is like the lands of the shadow have gathered under one banner to take down the terror of Aragorn. It's a little flipped. They get 1 hit. I get 2 hits. I say it's a nice slow death. I gotta make it sink in. They press. They get no hits on their press. I start screaming and I say, I believe for Frodo. I get 1 hit. And they press for the final press. They get no hits. And I get 2 hits. Yeah, they didn't roll enough, but then they rolled and then they still missed. So, wow. He held on. I said, I have hope, only a fool's hope. So, right. So, for any of this to matter, I actually have to take more, which isn't exactly, like, guaranteed. It's 5 against 3. I play Valor. Get 1 hit. And then they get 3 hits. Yep. So, that didn't work. Now they move leadership to the Black Gate. They probably should have did that first. Alright, so after I see them move the Witch King there, I say, I swear, if you ground me, I'm going to be upset. It's like, do not ground the Black Gate, please. And then I move the Fellowship, and this actually surprises them. They say, really? I say, Frodo's got his sneakers on. And they miss. So, yeah, writing on the wall. Is Aragorn going to live this? And if I had a sudden strike, this would actually be very scary for Shadow. But I unfortunately do not. If I were Shadow, I wouldn't even go for this attack. Because, again, yeah, if there was a sudden strike, you're dead. I was like, once I move the Fellowship, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to muster more in Barad-dûr, and I'll see you in a bit. But they attack with a ring. Play Phlox, get 3 hits. Aragorn goes down, but he gets 2 hits on the way out. Look at that. There's 1 orc, or 1 Uruk-hai left in the Black Gate. Oh. Just 1 more hit at some point, or 1 sudden strike, or no quarter, anything. And Aragorn would have taken him out with him. And hilariously enough, I would have actually still had the Black Gate. And then it would be a race for Minas Tirith to get there. I'd lose that race. That's actually kind of a funny race when you think about it. It's like, okay, I attack Osgiliath. No way I kill them all, obviously. Kill any, maybe. They retreat. Probably North Ithilien. And then they muster. Yeah, they'd be fine. Aragorn is dead. Unfortunate. I get a Challenge of the King. Hilarious. Yeah, there's my Sudden Strike. I was 1 card off of Sudden Strike. That almost certainly would have killed the Witch King. And I get a Grimbjorn. I say, Frodo's more than good now. Allocates 2 eyes, rolls 2 more. And I roll a bunch of movement, which, if I ever needed it, now's the time, I guess. I move now because I could muster in Minas Tirith. So they're kind of immune to that army that's sitting in Osgiliath, but I'd rather them not get 2 re-rolls on me when there's 4 eyes in the box. But they get 2 hits anyway, and it's an eye, which is unfortunate, so both the Bobbits are gone. Gollum makes an appearance. I am an Ithilien. And the Hobbits go to Minas Tirith. They fell off Minas Tirith while drunk. They are ready to defend now. So what, I had 2 movement, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I probably would have personally put them in West Emnet. I don't think they're doing much good in Minas Tirith. I'm pretty sure they're about to get murdered. It's a little brutal of me. But I don't know, as Shadow, do you just go for Minas Tirith with that army? I think I would. Maybe that was my idea. And I do have Sudden Strike. So now a Sudden Strike is 3 in Minas Tirith. So yeah, if they go after it with that army, I don't know. If I get 2 hits, they're only rolling, what, 3 dice? I get rid of Palantir. No more ball powers. I'm a damn comedian. They do put me under with that little baby army. I hide. Oh, they play Denethor's Folly. There you go. Never mind. I move, and they get a 1 reveal. So they have 12 cards left in their character deck. Cruel Weather is a problem. So I got 3 eyes in the pool. It's a 3 out of 8 chance, slightly less than 50-50, to get an eye, which I want. So I'm going to reveal. So I avoid Cruel Weather. I take no damage. And then I do get an eye. So the gamble paid off. Got a little lucky there. So no extra damage, and I confirm my Mordor without having to burn a ring to move again, which would be more painful. They play a red tile. Makes sense. Oh, and yeah, they did have 4 character cards too. So yeah, Cruel Weather was looking likely. I start mustering a little relief force in Gondor just in case that siege goes poorly. Denethor's will definitely help. And then they keep mustering in Minas Morgul. So yeah, all that stuff that Aragorn did. Again, like that Shadows Gather they did, they needed to do it. I mean, maybe they didn't, because they didn't move leadership there. I think they were just so confident that those, God, what was it? Like 13 health units could take out 3, and I don't blame them for that confidence, but you know, you are cutting your dice in half if you just don't bother to bring leadership. Like, if you're going to commit to a siege, you should probably bring leadership. Alright, but I am in Mordor. I get Wizard Staff, hell yeah. And Path of the Woses, another Sudden Strike. So Denethor's, much to my opponent not realizing probably, is actually doing a lot of work here. Yeah, 2 Sudden Strikes that those Hobbits could somehow do. Okay, no more allocating eyes for my opponent. Just the 1 now because of the old Golem. Rolls 2 more. I roll that. So not what you want to see when you're revealed. So definitely probably burning a ring. This game wanted me to choose violence for sure. All right, I continue the relief force mustering. They played mustering a long plan war. Am I out of regulars? Yep. I'm officially out of Gondor units after, aside from leaders. Nope, I'm out of leaders too. Gondor has been dried up. Yeah, I put 1 leader in Pelargir, and then I put a regular into Bree. Yeah, I put him in the Shire. Yeah, I was going to say, that makes more sense. They're definitely not going to be able to build an army up before Frodo destroying the ring is like a threat. Okay, and then I start moving the North Downs guy towards Rivendell just for a little defense. Because, you know, even the Trollshalls guy, you know, Weather Hills and Ettenmoors walks into him. Makes that a 2-1 army. That could take Rivendell. If I just don't have any musters. Yep, Mordor is now congregated. They had to waste a lot of dice to do it. And now I attack Minas Tirith from Losternock. So on paper, this is a pretty good idea. They have 5 health. I have 4. If these guys get in there, oh my god. There's a problem, though. I learned something this day. The problem is Denethor's Folly. So the card reads, it's too small for me to, I gotta squint here. They cannot use combat cards in battles fought in Minas Tirith. So even though we're attacking from here, technically wherever the defending army is what's getting attacked, which makes sense. So even though this is the Pelennor Fields, card game said no, that's Minas Tirith actually. So Denethor being on fire is really demoralizing. Fair enough. So we can't play cards, which sucks because I have advantageous position. Even the Sudden Strikes, I mean, hey, it's an extra die. Yep. They even say you're getting screwed by fiddly rules. I'm like, it makes sense. Like, it's not a strong card, so let's not pretend like it's unfair. I roll no hits, though, and they play Felstench, so that's bad. They roll 1. I press. I get 1 hit. They get 2. I press. I get 1 hit. They get 2. I'm dead. Yeah, I didn't roll so hot there. So who knows how well the cards would have helped, really. But really all that Relief Force did was prevent that little army from taking it, which I don't even think is relevant because they already spent the time to build that one in Mordor. It's coming over here no matter what, so I don't really think it mattered. Like, I didn't actually expect to kill them there. It was possible, but... So they take Lossernach. Yeah, so I could have sortied there if I wanted with the sudden strikes. Or sorry, I can't play sudden strikes. But I could have sortied if I wanted to. It'd be my 3 health against there too, but I don't have anybody else to muster. I don't even have to die for it, so waste of time. Let's not do that. I hide the Fellowship, and they move into Minas Tirith. So yeah, I could have burned a ring this turn to move, but they rolled 3 eyes, and their military's still ass. Right, like Erebor will be taken because now I've gotten rid of Dane at this point. But Dol Amroth's still looking good. Rohan's not great, but I'm definitely going to be able to get those guys in there. Hopefully. Moria's got 2 dudes, so neither Rivendell nor Lorien are threats. If I get that Etmore guys into Trollshaws, Monsters Rouse is no threat at all. So, military-wise, I'm pretty good. So I think it was the right call to just not move. I get Power 2 Great and Bilbo's Song. Those are fantastic cards. So what are the discards here? I think you keep Path of the Woses. Probably just Wizard Staff. Yeah, probably just Wizard Staff and Challenge of the King. Sudden Strike really only had value in Minas Tirith, but that's about to die, so... I get rid of Wizard Staff, and I get rid of Sudden Strike. Look at me. Some things just don't change. Alright, so they allocate the 1 eye, roll 1 more, and then I get a pretty good roll this time. Yeah, 3 moves, way better. Let's look at that hunt pool. Yeah, it's not great. That's a pretty bad Golem pool, for sure. It's all damage. Whoops, all damage. But if anything, I'd like to hit eyes right now because they only rolled 1. So I move, and I do get an eye, so that's good. If you're going to hit eyes, this is the time to do it. They play Lord of the Ring to get 1 more. Yeah, when they're that far in their character deck, you just have to assume every time you reveal, you're going to take damage. So there's like a trap mindset I have, and I would curious. Oh, let me adjust this. Sorry. I'm curious what other people think about this mindset. Normally when I move with Gollum, I don't reveal because I'm like, what's the point? I'm going to get Morgul Wounded or Lord of the Ring or Breaking of the Fellowship. Why even do it? But it doesn't really make sense when you think about it logically because eventually, and this only applies to mid or early to mid Mordor, obviously, but eventually you're going to get revealed. It's very unlikely you won't. And then they'll play it then. So technically you're getting a net save of 1 corruption, even though it obviously takes longer. So moral of the story is I always catch myself saying, well, let's not reveal because I'm going to take a damage anyway. But if time isn't a huge issue, you should do it anyway because, again, you'll probably be revealed at some point and then the card will be played against you. Unless they get that fun roll that's freaking all army attacks, which seems to only happen to me. But yeah, imagine complaining about army attacks, but sometimes that the game be that way. I move again, I do get a 1 reveal here, so prime example. I just take the corruption. Now in this scenario, it's probably the better call because again they're at 5 points right now. They're going to be 6 when they take Pelargir. Erebor's dead. just a matter of time, like I've been saying. It's a huge army up there. So after like a couple of dice of stuff, they're actually at 8 points. So I don't know. I might get an unlucky roll. Let's not play it safe. Let's play it well, I guess playing it safe in a certain way. They attack Minas Tirith. They hit him with a strife. God knows why. Maybe there's like I couldn't play cards, so there's no like Blade of Westerness or anything. But yeah, they die immediately, and I get 2 hits back. They're now at 5 points. They bring in the mouth. I do. Nope. No, I don't. Oh God. I start mustering Rohan. Why the hell am I mustering Rohan? That is a decision. Like your first thought would be maybe Path of the Woses, but I would appear in Druden Forest, and that's not really helping, is it? Maybe because... Oh, okay. That army is so big in Minas Tirith, they're definitely going to bring it up to Rohan. So all that mustering they did is actually not that bad, because it's now going to get a double use. And Dol Amroth's probably just going to sit there. So yeah, Rohan is a threat right now, which is bad, because Erebor is also free. They play Shadows on the Misty Mountains. Huh. They used a hybrid to play Shadows on the Misty Mountains. Interesting. That is interesting. I feel like I would have moved to what is that? Withered Heath, and then got Minas Tirith to Druden Forest. Probably you're gonna have to leave probably 3 orcs behind because of Dol Amroth. But yeah, I mean that's still. You probably settle with 2, and then maybe get Umbar moving up. That way you'll still have 5 dice. You have 6 leadership. You're coming in the Rohan from the east. You have Orthanc coming in from the north. While again you're moving Woodland Realm up to Withered Heath to take Erebor. So maybe they don't remember I played Dane. Alright, see that's an error right there. So right there, I brought it up before. This is a rookie mistake for sure. I moved to Fords. This is usually not a good idea. It's very rare when it is, but the biggest time you don't want to do that is when Sauron is a potential threat. And I can't think of a more specific circumstance of Sauron being a threat than right now when there is a giant army like 3 spaces away from West Eminent. Not a good move. Should have went to Helm's Deep. Protect my points. Don't get greedy with the extra combat in Fords. If I wanted to move somebody, I should have just moved Fords to West Eminent, I guess, and then move them with a next turn. But they attack out of Moria. I scouts. They attack Dimrildale. They get 1 hit. I get 1 hit. And then they stop, so I don't retreat the Lorien. Yeah, I don't think Lorien's the play here. I mean, maybe they're thinking Rivendell, but Rivendell's not that free, because I did manage to get that North Elite to Trollshaws, so you'd have to build up an army. You already played Rage earlier. I still have... Don't I still have 3 elites? I do. Yeah, elves are not a target. I think elves are just not a target right now. I think Rohan, which you're already set up for, and Erebor is your chance here. Yep, and then you take Pelargir. Probably hit the muster and armbar a little bit to hold it, because Dol Amroth can come take it. I don't remember if they played Corsairs or not. Probably because they have 1 strategy card, which they're about to draw. I get There Is Another Way and Swords and Eriador. Perfect timing for There Is Another Way. Great stuff. Okay. Yep, they roll 3 more eyes, and I roll... I guess not the worst roll. I mean, big problem. Fords. Big problem. But all the elf strongholds are safe right now, at least. Okay, start off by moving. I get a 3. I reveal. So let's see. So when you're in a situation like this, I'm obviously not going to do it right now, but you should definitely count the shadows dice. They have what? I guess I'll do it quick. So they don't have a ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 5 attacks. You're always assume Palantirs are attacks. And they have the mouth. So that muster is an attack. One of those is. So 5 attacks. Forwards, Orthanc, attack. That's 3. Yeah. No way in hell they're going to get 10 points this turn. No way. So it makes sense to reveal here. Especially, another thing, I have 2 rings. So usually it's not super common. You just had a good game, but if you have the luxury of being in Mordor towards the end and you have more than 1 ring, you definitely want to use them because you can only use 1 per turn. So not using a ring is pretty dumb. So I can actually hide and then move again with a ring this turn. Problem is, I'll give them another attack by doing that. But they're committing to the elves. I don't know. It's because they muster in Moria. Now they play breaking. Oh. Well, we played breaking wrong. It's because we were newer. We were newer players. I actually had it right, but they corrected me incorrectly. So they played breaking. They drew a tile. They got an eye. And then they were like, darn. But then I said, I'm pretty sure you just do a corruption because it's because Gollum's the guide. And they're like, it said no eye. And like they deleted the card, so I couldn't reread it. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I was correct. You just take 1 corruption as Gollum. But unfortunately, it's a rules error, but it's not a bad one for me in this scenario. And eye getting taken out is very relevant. So I actually don't attack. I think because they're trying to hurt me with their dice instead of trying to do military, I'm just going to take even longer. So I actually use the character to play Elven Rope instead. They play a Sealed Oars and get a 2. So that's pretty... Oh, so what? There are 7 tiles, 2 eyes. Yeah, so out of 7, only 2 of those were really good for a Sealed Oars, and they got it. So they got lucky there. Honestly, that was the best result for a Sealed Oars because the red 3 would hurt like hell, but you'd rather it stop me if you draw it. So perfect. It was like a 1 out of... What was it? Yeah. 1 out of 8? No, 1 out of 7 to get that. Yeah. I'm mustering Lorien. Why not? Now they do the move that I was talking about like 2 turns ago. Better late than never. Maybe they realize the elves are just not happening. Play Bilbo's Song, which is big. Alright. So, they're playing this kind of smart. There's a problem. So they abandoned Minas Tirith, probably to go hold Pelargir, and then they're going for Rohan. I still have Path of the Woses, though. Like, they haven't seen that combat card get played, so that's very risky. We'll see what happens. I do a burner ring to hide. They take Edoras. And then they take Pelargir. So, yep. Again, they were higher than they looked. Because now they are at 7 points. So I just need a stronghold in a city. There's really no city that's comfortable to get. So they're going to have to get 2 strongholds, most likely. So, at the very least, they still have this one dude in Lossarnock. And I'm not exactly in a great position to play Path of the Woses. Because the big appeal of it is bring a big army, and I don't have one. I need to defend Helm's Deep first. If I just give up Helm's Deep to go retake Minas Tirith, well, what did I really accomplish? Except a demoralizing, there we go, words. Yeah, demoralizing effect. Yeah, my opponent ran out of strategy cards. 14 turn game. I think honestly it's just because they drew like 8 manually, which is unlucky for them. Oh yeah, and they did have Palantir of Orthanc, I forgot. Alright, so they roll no eyes, and then I rolled that crap. Did they play Day Without Dawn? They did. So yeah, they use it against 1. So I don't advise you hold the freaking card the whole game, but yeah, that specific instance, I don't think it was really worth playing. Like, Relentless is a pretty good combat if you use it right. But yeah, it would have really sucked if he had it right here. I say this jewelry is heavy. It's time to sell it. I'm glad my really stupid sense of humor is the same. I play There's Another Way. And I get Elven Rope. Oof. Not good for my opponent, is it? They do have another red, though. Alright, so yeah, that hunt pool. Like, I'm about to destroy the ring, but Frodo had it rough. This is canon Frodo right now. He's got them dry lips. You know what I'm talking about. Got that crusty neck. Yeah, this is he's been through the ringer, and then there's 2 reds there to welcome him to the Crack of Doom. Not great. Let's see if Sam can carry his ass through that door. I move, and it's an eye, so I do win. Yep, great game. Yeah, definitely an interesting one. I think this is a very good... I'm happy I did it right now when a lot of new people are joining the server, because I think this is a good kind of introduction to playing Free People in a unique way. We were both definitely newer. You know, we both made a lot of little weird things, little errors. I think both of our mindsets were in the right place. It's just execution was lacking. But hopefully I brought up most of those so I could teach you what not to do. But yeah, don't be afraid of military as Free People, just because it can be annoying. Now, the really good players will see you're doing it and be like, I don't care, because I know if you abandon that stronghold, I'm going to win military anyway. So, but for most people, you know, don't settle for one strategy. Definitely branch out. I had no intention of actually winning military. Like, no way in hell. My army was not big enough in Gondor. Like, even now, I don't think I would have done that. Granted, I play stupid now. Let's not mince words here. But yeah, that Gondor play surprised even me when I just abandoned Minas Tirith for Osgiliath and jumped the gun. How different would this game have gone had I not done that and made them waste? I mean, I must have made them waste upwards of 10 dice total, 10 to 12 dice total of attacks and musters to just make me settle down. But again, also you need the game to give you the dice to do it. It's out of your control, but when the situations arise, don't be afraid. Take the plunge, get in the spirit of the Free People. Everything they did had like no certainty of working. They're basically all suicide missions. Yeah. Have the suicide mentality, or suicide mission mentality when it comes to playing the Free People. So be like, I'm probably dead, but it'll be worth it. But that'll be it for this game. Thank you all for watching. Like the video if you want to see more. Hopefully I'll find some more unique games. If anybody has any insane games they have, and I'm talking like crazy, feel free to send them to me. I'll happily take a look at them. Send them to me on Discord, Nevan. Preferably, my favorite is Companion Separations. I like watching Gimli cut orcs' heads off, so if that happens, I'll definitely take a look. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.